Hey there, Joe DeSanto here, broadcasting live from my car. I'm actually on a road trip, so figured I'd take some of the driving time up by making some videos. Why not? But I am going to try to keep my eye on the road here. So, I want to talk a little bit about my gratitude journaling experiment. I did this because I read somewhere that some study was done of people that did 21 days of gratitude journaling reported that they were about 60% happier at the end of the experience. So I thought that was a compelling outcome. Truth be told, I often describe myself as someone who toes the line between a realist and a cynic, and I've almost come to realize that that's a pretty poor subconscious training that I've embedded there in my subconscious. So I'm trying to get away from saying that, but I do think that has been true for me, and I probably, which is probably why I'm a little bit data driven, and I guess I don't like to leave things up to chance. But I do know that being positive and being optimistic is simply an edge in life, both from the point of enjoyment, but also from the point of accomplishing your goals and being open to even more goals and ideas to accomplish. When you're negative, your energy is drained. You don't see the point in trying something because the outcome probably isn't going to be good. When you're positive, you're like, yeah, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's have some fun today. Let's try to start a business. Your overall expectation is that of a good outcome, so you're more inclined to try things. It's a definite edge both in finding things to be successful with and being successful in whatever your endeavor is. So I wanted to see if this gratitude journaling could help me. I had taken a gratitude course on Insight Timer probably like 6-7 years ago, and I enjoyed it and could see the benefit of it. But since then, I've read more about how we essentially program our subconscious throughout the course of our life, and our subconscious mind is continually bringing us back into the center of whatever our belief system, has been programmed to be. So I definitely feel like perhaps I've embedded some negative thinking in there, and I never really thought that was fixable. I guess I just thought, oh, that's my genetics, and I just have to overcome that, as best I can. But the idea that I could actually reprogram, overwrite the data in there, got me really excited. And then this gratitude statistic came along, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a go. So I did 21 straight days of gratitude journaling, and the deal is, you can do as much as you want, but try to write at least 5 things that you're grateful for that day or the previous day. You could do it in the morning or do it at night. And the trick is you can't repeat anything. So for the 21 days, times 5, that's 105 gratitudes. You cannot repeat something. And that actually there's a point in that. Naturally when we go to do the gratitude thing, if you've ever tried it, I'm sure maybe you have, you go to the obvious things. I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for my wife, I'm grateful for my son. Though, of course, those are wonderful things. Thank God I'm so grateful I have those in my life. But if you just go to the stuff that comes to mind, or that is always like kind of the biggest, you don't really do the exercise of digging out the little things. So not repeating, the point of that is to dig out the small things in life and be grateful for the little things as well as the big things. And also, as you do it, it makes you think about just stuff that you take for granted, but is just so important, like air conditioning. Maybe you don't take that for granted. I don't. I live in Florida, so I think about air conditioning a lot, and I love air conditioning. But just little things. Running into someone smiled at you today. That doesn't happen all that often. I don't know, you walking down the street and you notice some really beautiful flowers and you took them in. these little things add up. And not only does recollecting them and being thankful for them make you feel better, but it helps train your subconscious to look for the little things throughout your day, which of course makes you, more appreciative of life and what's going on around you, and feel better. So the end of my 21 days, I'm still doing it. I mean, I've been doing gratitudes now even for more. I think probably since September of last year, so almost 8 months. Now, I definitely am still not doing it every day, but I've been doing it multiple days a week at least, and I try to do as many consecutive days in a row as I can, because I do think it made a big difference. It definitely, I think, brought my overall happiness factor up, but more importantly, it's trained my mind a little bit to just look around and appreciate the little things. And it's made a big difference. As I said, I'm still doing it. And what I like to do it in the morning, because I sit down, I'll make breakfast for my son, I'll sit with him while he eats, and I do the gratitude journaling in front of him. And of course, I ask him if he has anything he wants to contribute. Sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But I like the idea that he's seeing me do it, and I'm modeling this activity that I think is important. And honestly, I wish I spent more time programming my subconscious in a positive way, as opposed to just assuming that's the way I was. I guess that's one of my big takeaways. But that's accumulation of a few different readings of the last year. So anyway, I hope that was inspiring for you. Definitely give it a go. It's fun. You can do it with your family too. Make a game out of it. And, the outcome honestly can't be anything but positive. All right, talk to you later.